Hi, and welcome to the Stay Rich Show. On today's episode, I want to talk to you about something that I see really commonly, especially when I'm talking with men, and that is, I'm Ryan Benson. I'm a winning divorce strategist, an unbiased expert witness, a hero to my clients, and a villain to their exes. Welcome to the Stay Rich Show. Trying to purposely lower your income as you're going through a divorce. Now, I get the logic behind it. I get the idea behind it, which is I want to make less. So then I don't have to pay her as much money. I don't want to have to pay alimony. I don't want to have to pay child support. And I get it, guys. I get it. I do. But at the same time, what you're doing is you're actually harming yourself and your family. You're actually making less money. You're actually doing less work. You're actually not going into the world to conquer it, to protect, to win, and be rich and stay rich, but rather you're giving up great opportunities just because you don't want to pay someone else, right? And I see this happen all the time with entrepreneurs too, where they say, well, maybe I should make less money so I don't have to pay the government as much money, right? And I don't like paying the government, I get it, but I want to make more net at the end of the day. I don't want to make less net. And this is a part of your mentality about divorce needing to change. This is something that the smartest rich men do, is that rather than view divorce as this excruciating, painful, tolling experience, they flip their mindset and they reframe it into an opportunity to change, an opportunity to live their best life, to reset and completely adapt to a new environment. So what does this mean? When men go through divorce, quite often they're hit with a lot of grief because typically speaking, they're not the ones who are actually filing. Most of the time, men think that everything's fine. And it's not. Their ex-wife has been planning this shit for 2 years or 3 years prior. And a lot of men don't realize this. They just know that they're not happy. But what are you going to do? I'm doing my end of the bargain, right? I'm out making money. I have a business. I'm doing this stuff. I'm meeting my commitments. That's what they think, right? That's what a lot of men think. But they don't realize that they're not meeting those commitments at home, which is what causes the divorce in the first place. But by being that submissive character at home, by not being themselves, by showing up differently in the external world versus their own home, they end up going down this path to divorce because they're not bringing their best self to the equation. Their wife knows that. Their wife saw you at your best at the time when you got together. And now she sees you at your worst because you're a friggin' pussy. And you're not willing to stand up for things. You're not willing to actually set boundaries. You don't have the self-respect. And people, the men, the smart men, know this. And they change the way that they live. They install elements of self-respect into their life. They draw boundaries to ensure that they're being treated well by others, including their ex-wife. Because at the end of the day, you really get the treatment that you're willing to tolerate. And with the men that I deal with in my practice, it's convincing them, not even convincing them, but explaining to them. They need to have expectations in how people treat them, including their ex-wife. And set those boundaries, set that tone. By being a leader, even when you're going through a divorce, you have to think about what's best for everybody. And I get it. You don't want to pay your ex-wife as much. You don't want to pay more child support. But if you actively invest in your own capital gains, in your own business, in your own ability to go out into the world and double your income, triple your income, quadruple it, 10x it, what is the harm in doing that? She is the mother of your kids. She is someone that you did enter into a loving relationship with at some point. She's taking care of your kids most likely because you're a killer at work and you're doing a great job. So if rather than making $250,000 a year and paying her half, so you're net 125, rather than do that, why don't I just go out and make $1 million and pay her $350 and be up $650,000? I'd far rather live that lifestyle than the one that says, oh, I should earn less so that I don't have to write as big of a check to my ex-wife because she's mean and she did mean things to me when I was married. Are you kidding me? Stop caring about her. Start caring about yourself. Put these lines in, put these boundaries in, and work. That's part of the Staybridge reset. That's part of being a leader. That's part of being the man that she thought that she married, and it is the best freaking revenge that you can ever get. Realizing that she let go at the wrong time. That's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed this message.